2 weeks, so the place is a mess. You do the housework, the washing, you cook the meals. That's Alice. You look after her. Homework, bath, all that crap. Got it?
Right away, Todd. Aren't you going to school today? I'm sure we used to be friends before I was reset. Maybe we can be friends again.
You shouldn't mess around with my stuff. It makes me nervous.
I'm sorry, Todd.
What are you looking at? Maybe you think this is easy. Maybe you think it's my fault your fucking mother took off. Fucking whore walked out on me for a fucking accountant. Come back here. You stay there. Don't you dare fucking move. Alice! Daddy's very mad. It's all over now. Daddy isn't angry anymore. You know Daddy loves you. This is all your fault!
He's coming! He's gonna hurt me! Run! Get away, or he's gonna break you like last time!
You're coming with me. That's enough! I want you to leave Alice alone.
She's mine. I do what I want with her!
Kara!
Come back here!
Watch out, Kara!
Tell us about the concept for this game.
Well, it's Detroit is a neo-noir thriller set in the near future in the city of Detroit, of course. And in this near future, there are androids that look, speak, and move exactly like human beings. And when the story starts, some of them starts to have strange behaviors, and they show signs of emotions. And no one knows exactly why and what's going on. And this is the starting point for the story.
You seem to have this recurring theme of this approachment to technology and this sort of understanding of the possible perils of technology. You've had a detective that was able to utilize technology in Heavy Rain. You also deal a lot with the sort of the metaphysical sort of elements and stuff like that. Are you, as a person, concerned about our reliance on technology and our affinity and our lean towards robotics and androids? Do you feel like this is a possible future for us?
I feel a little bit concerned about how we become dependent to our phones to start with, and to technology in general. And I don't want to say this is necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
It is going to be what we'll make of it.
Yeah.
And what is a little bit special on Detroit is that I didn't want to tell this story where, you know, androids would be the bad guys and they want to destroy the world because they have a virus or something. It's been done before.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell a totally different story where we would control only the androids.
Yeah.
And maybe we humans are the bad guys and they are the good guys. And it just gave me a totally different angle on the story and allowed me to say something a little bit different about our world and maybe about ourselves.
Is it a cautionary tale? Is there an element of that in the game, or is this just pure cool fiction?
Well, I try to put some meaning into it, but I rather try to ask questions rather than to give answers, because my answers may not be your answers, right?
And that's game making right there, right?
Exactly, and that's narrative. I like stories that give you food for thought, but doesn't necessarily give you the answers. So I think Detroit asks many questions.
Yeah, well, we see some humans in this game, and you know, obviously we see Connor trying to protect a human. But I certainly think of the humans in Wall-E. Like, are the rest of the humans in your story just fat and lazy and floating and like letting the robots do everything?
I think that Detroit makes a very dark portrait of mankind in general, becoming really dependent on technology, of course, because the more you let machines do things for you, the less things you can do.
Yeah.
And now we can see even software starting to tell stories and write stories for you.
Yeah.
What is going to happen to me in the future if machines can do my job?
It'll be robots making video games for robots.
Maybe.
Crazy.
Maybe
right?
that's the future. How exciting is that? No, I don't know. All this is very exciting, intriguing, and very scary at the same time. But again, the future is only what you will do with it. So it's not written anywhere that it's going to be good or bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Detroit describes mankind as very dependent, very selfish, and probably very declining. Maybe it's all what's happening around us these days with violence, with the wars, with all these things.
Yeah.
What does it say about
This technology that connects us is really not helping to connect us.
Well, you can wonder if the technology, social networks, and all these things did help to make mankind better
Yeah.
or not. I don't have the answer. Again, and it's not black or white. It's not like, oh, it's great or it's not great. When you see things like Wikipedia, for example, I think it's amazing. I mean, you just type anything and you get all you want to know. It's incredible. When I was a kid, I had to go to the library, look for a book and borrow it and take notes. And now everything is, you just take your phone and you get the answers. And when I talk to my kid about the old days when I was a kid, which is not so long ago,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a totally different world.
We already are kind of half machine in a way, right?
Absolutely.
What's the obsession with America? That you seem to set your, I mean, you were in Paris. Do you hear from Parisians going like, why don't you make games based here, man? Like, why do you keep setting your games in American cities with American actors? And Detroit specifically, what was the draw there?
Well, I was really fascinated by Detroit as a city because it's, it's a big industrial titan of the 20th century, and it was absolutely huge and phenomenal, and it went through hard times. And I just wanted to imagine this moment in time where the Android industry would need somewhere to go and to build their own factories, and they would choose Detroit that would be reborn and revitalized, but all these things. So it's such an American story somehow, to be very high, lose everything, and go back again. But when you choose a city like Detroit that is a real place where real people live, you need to be very respectful of the place and the people. And the first thing we did was we didn't want to write about Detroit without having been there, so we traveled, we spent some time there. Of course, we visited the abandoned factories and the abandoned churches, which are very spectacular, but at the same time we wanted to see the nice things to see. The Fox Theater in Detroit is the most amazing place on earth. It's an incredible place. We met the people, and we found a lot of energy there and a lot of inspiration and a lot of desire to be born again. And that was very, very inspiring for us. And we just hope that we will be very respectful in the use we make of this place. But it was done very sincerely and very honestly. And we hope that people in Detroit will enjoy what we're doing.
My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.